Hey guys, it's Penguin here, and welcome back to another gold making video. In this video, this is actually going to be the final video for my Shadowlands Breakdown Profession playlist. Now, if you have never seen a video of this series before, basically the premise is that I take one profession from Shadowlands and break down exactly how much gold I've made, how many items I've sold, what exact items I'm actually selling, and basically just give you a rundown of exactly how that profession is performing for me. Now, the only rule of this series is that I can only sell the basic items of that profession. So what this means is no reputation grinds, no extra things like legendaries, stuff like that. So for this video, we are going to be highlighting blacksmithing and jewelry crafting. And you're probably wondering, hold on, you just said, one profession per video. Why are we doing two? Well, these are the only two left. And you will see throughout this video is that I actually only sell 2 to 3 items from each profession, so it just makes more sense to combine them into one instead of making super short videos for both of them. So this is going to finish off the series. Of course, I will leave it in the description if you are interested in more types of these videos. As always, if you guys are new here and want to support the content, or you've seen a few videos and you want to make sure you get notified, it would really help me out a lot if you do either like the video or even subscribe. But thank you guys so much, and here's the video. Alright, so the first profession we're going to be highlighting is blacksmithing. Now, I've already talked about how we're only going to be using items that you get from leveling the profession, and the first one on this list are sharpening stones. So this is a super easy item. All it requires is 2 shaded stone to actually craft this. And so in the past 2 weeks, everything will be in a 2-week scale. So the past 14 days, I have sold 1,818 items of sharpening stones. This brings me to a total of 37,000 gold of revenue. Now, like I said, this only cost 2 shaded stones to craft, so my crafting cost is insanely low at 1 gold and 24 silver, which means my total cost for these items is 2,300 gold. That means if we take our revenue minus our cost, I have made a solid 35,000 gold of profit just from this single item. The best thing about this is that the profit margin is huge. I've invested 2.2k and I've made 35k out of it. That's absolutely insane. The only downside is that sometimes these do take a while to craft. So I just do it whenever, I get up to eat, get up to take a shower, stuff like that. I will just, set this to AFK, my character crafts a few hundred, and then I'm good to go. Now, the second item I want to talk about is the green novice gear, which is the green plate novice gear, aka ceremonious. So this is once again just for blacksmithing, and these haven't been spectacular, but in the past 2 weeks, I have sold 38 pieces. But I've sold them for a total of 36,000 gold. The best thing about this, similar to the sharpening stones, they are very cheap to craft as they are green armor pieces and the mark itself is super cheap. And it cost me about 40 gold averaged out for each piece. That brings me to a total of 1,520 gold crafting cost, which brings to a solid profit of about 34,000 gold. So out of the, 36,000 revenue, only, 2,000 of that is not profit, which is absolutely insane. That is why I love blacksmithing, and you'll see why. That's why I love jewel crafting as well. Very easy and great for beginners. Now, as always, disclaimer, I am on a medium pop server, so your, amount of items selling is going to vary. Also, the amount of profit you see is going to vary as well. This should just give you an idea of what type of items to actually look out for. Now we have the blue novice gear, which is basically the exact same thing, but instead of crafting the ceremonious, you're crafting the shadow steel, but it's still with the same crafter's marks. And I've already taken out the additional crafter's marks. You have the 9.2 ones, which require reputation. So I have kind of sorted through. Now this might not be perfect, as TSM Ledger doesn't tell you exactly, but I can pretty much infer by the prices listed for each item. But for the blue novice gear, I have sold 40 pieces for a total of about 46,000 gold. Now the crafting cost, because they do use shadow gassed ingots, are a little bit expensive, for an average about 600 gold a piece, which brings our crafting cost to 24,000 gold. So this is a pretty hefty expense compared to the others. With that being said, we are still making a solid almost 23,000 gold profit by selling just this item. So combining the novice gear together, we made about 34,000 with the green pieces, about 23,000 with the blue pieces. That's almost 60,000 gold. It's about 56,000 or so profit just off of novice gear. Combine that with the 35,000 from sharpening stones, just selling 3 types of items. Of course, the gear are all slots. That's a crazy amount of gold just from those basic items. But that is really all that I sell with blacksmithing. Now, of course, as I'm a more advanced player, I do sell legendaries, which I will mention just for the fun of it at the end of this video. However, legendaries are not calculated into the total profit, which once again will be at the end of this video. So any sort of profit in the title, thumbnail, or anything is excluding legendaries, but I will talk about it, soon. Moving on, we now have jewelry crafting. So yet again, there's only about 2 items that I sell, the first one being clusters. So clusters, aka the blue gems of this expansion, actually have been doing pretty well on my server. Now, a heads up is that I do a lot of prospecting because, yet again, I am a jewelry crafting legendary seller, so I do a lot of prospecting for essence. So I have a ton of random gems laying around. So what I've done is hard-coded my gem price to 2 gold and 50 silver because that is the vendor price. If I was not crafting these clusters, I would just be turning all these gems to the vendor for some raw gold back. So my set price for every single cluster, no matter the gem, is set at 10 gold, 80 silver. So by default, your TSM probably has a very high number because it's using the auction house price of the gems, but you can go into your crafting menu, hit reports, materials, look up the 3 types of gems, and hard code that to 2G50S, and then you'll have the same crafting cost as me. But with that being said, in the past 2 weeks, I have sold 817 clusters. These do great for me, and that's for a total of about 30,000 gold. Like I said before, each cluster cost 10.8 gold, about so using the vendor price, which means I've spent about 9,000 gold of crafting cost for these items. Subtracting that from the 30,000, that brings us to about 21,000 gold profit. This item is very similar to sharpening stones. Sometimes it takes a while to craft a bunch, so just AFK it whenever you walk away for a little bit, and that time will add up, and you just have a ton of easy items to sell. Then, yet again, we have novice gear, which is the only other thing that I sell in jewelry crafting besides legendaries. And so for novice gear, there are only the blue versions, which is the ring and the necklace. Now I've combined them into the exact same group, and so in the past 2 weeks, I have sold 93 items. Those 93 items have sold for a total of about 67,000 gold. Now, on average, it cost about 80 gold per novice ring/necklace, which means those items had a cost of about 7.5 thousand gold, which brings our profit for just this novice gear to about 59,000 gold. So, as you can see, the huge trend with both of these professions is that it is super cheap to craft and the profit margins are huge. You're not going to make $1 million a month just on selling these basic items, but you are going to double, triple, quadruple, quintuple your gold because of how high these margins are. So to recap the profit before we add in legendaries just for the fun of it, to show you guys how much gold I personally am truly making. In the last 2 weeks with blacksmithing, I have made 91.5 thousand gold profit in the last 2 weeks. Jewelcrafting is a little bit less at about 80,000 gold profit in the last 2 weeks. So if you were to combine that together, in the last 2 weeks selling, these 5 types of items, I have made 172,000 gold. Now this is by the 2 weeks, so if we say, there's 4 weeks in a month, that means we'd be making about 344,000 gold per month with just selling these items. Now, for the fun of it, we can add in legendaries, and so in the past 2 weeks, we're going to go back to the 2 weeks, not the month time frame. I have sold 60 legendaries from blacksmithing and jewelry crafting. To be honest, the bulk of it are Shadowgassed rings, which are the jewelry crafting ones, but in total I've sold 60 legendaries, and 99% of these being rank 7s. So on average, if we estimate about a 20k crafting cost each, well, let me back up, sorry. In the past 2 weeks, we've sold 60 items for a total of about 2.1 million gold. Now, if we say that there is a crafting cost of about 20k each, that brings us to a crafting cost of 1.2 million gold, which means we've made about 882,000 gold profit in the last 2 weeks with these legendaries. Of course, this is an estimate, but that should give you an idea. So, going back to our total, like I said before, with blacksmithing and jewelry crafting without legendaries, I made 172,000 gold profit in the last 2 weeks. If we want to add the legendaries in there, I've made about 1.05 million with everything combined in the last 2 weeks. If we double that, that's about, 2.1 million for the month estimate. Like I said before, that is not the number I will be using for this video. We will be using that 172 number or that 344 number because that is without legendaries. However, hopefully that can show you, if you do get into legendaries, that is actually how much I've personally made. But yeah, guys, that is basically it. Hopefully this breakdown can help you if you're just getting into blacksmithing or jewelry crafting. Hopefully this could show you exactly what you might want to look into. Yes, not everything will be profitable on this list on your server, but as long as you can get 1 or 2 items, you definitely can add on to your overall gold. But thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know if you have any questions, and as always, have a great day.